I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. Now I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today, and we've got a fun night. We've got our wonderful, beloved LeBron James, LA Lakers, who officially are what, Rio?
Kaput! Out! Oh, the postseason.
Howdy. And
That's a big deal.
So this is take 2 for the people that will be watching because my goofy ass forgot to hit the record button on the tablet. So, well, like we all already so eloquently put it, we're going to try to make it to where we're having a conversation about that tonight. We're going to try not to talk about that again, or try our damnedest not to talk about them again until next season.
Correct.
100%. And I don't know if you know or not, but they don't know that. Like, it's take 2. So,
yeah. Well, no, I know.
You
I
don't
said
have to tell
that,
them.
Well, that's what I said. That's why I said it. I'm like, just to let you know that my goofy ass did.
I'm just talking
Just so
shit,
you
man.
know, this is take 2.
Yeah.
Because I messed up.
Hey, we only got like 40 seconds in, so it was all gravy, baby.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we got the Lakers in basketball. That's a big story. We've got a particular wide receiver who is getting pizzade after yesterday's news. And, of course, we have a new NCAA college basketball champion.
Yeah. Hey. Let's go. What's
Warm
up?
whiskey wagers on deck. For who?
Yeah.
Jimmer.
But this is what you get for swinging your nuts out there. Sometimes you just got to, dip those heavy boys in the snow. That's
They
what happens.
did look very heavy. Yeah.
So,
that imprint.
yeah, we're going to go ahead and pound the first of 2 real
Let's
quick,
go.
and then we'll go with her.
Yes. Good for you.
Oh, I
you
thought you were
shut
going
up.
back to back.
Yeah. He's going to wait a little bit.
All right. So,
It's tough, yeah.
it's hard to talk like right afterwards. All right, the Kansas Jayhawks are your 2022 men's college basketball champions.
Yeah. Big
Kansas.
Let's go.
Kansas's 16-point rally, which was the biggest comeback in championship game history, finished off UNC 72-69. It was the most viewed men's title game on cable television. The game averaged 18.1 million viewers on TBS, TNT, and True TV. It is a 4% increase over the numbers for last year's title game between Baylor and Gonzaga on CBS. The entire tournament on CBS and Turner averaged 10.7 million viewers, a 13% increase over last year.
Wow.
I thought that was highly impressive. Last year we were all COVIDed up. I thought there'd be a lot more TV watching or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd think so, for sure.
And then
It's still about the teams, though, right?
it is.
That's why the big boys are so important to
Yep.
college football, basketball. Doesn't
I'm
matter.
just saying, like that one right there was like the whole tournament. It wasn't just that title game. It was 13% higher than the whole
Than everything.
for the whole
Then-
tournament
then
than
after
last
COVID,
year.
Yeah.
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 So that I don't pour some of this nasty shit. So I did allude to the 16 points. It looked like this thing was in the bag. But then I was over at Tyler's and I watched this, right?
I was hoping you would send like some stupid text or something.
No. See, I've learned my lesson over, my many years. That you never, not until that final whistle, do you ever send anything.
Yeah.
So it always comes back.
Do you remember it was the tournament and it was like you and I was beating like, was
I'm gonna
it?
just
It
say
was
no.
probably Texas A&M.
I'm going to say no.
Oh, I figured. Well, Iowa's out, so you said you go for the Iowa team.
I do.
So.
Yep.
But somebody put on Facebook was like, "Yeah, you and I moving on," and it was like 13 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And they ended up winning that game in regulation. Like they made some incredible shots.
You and I
shots.
did, didn't they?
No,
I
it
thought
wasn't
the
you
other
and
one.
I.
I
It
thought
was
it was you and I that did it.
No, it was you and I who let it down because the you and I fan was putting it out there.
Whereas
I want to
maybe
say
it happened to them, but they also did it.
I
Too,
want to
that
say,
way.
yeah, they had their sweet
Like last second
Kansas.
like half court shot or something.
Yeah, they had one, but no,
Yep.
this was
Okay.
this was because it was somebody from Iowa that's a UNI fan, and I won it.
That was the year, didn't they beat Kansas that year? UNI. I think that was
Yeah.
the half-court shot, I think, was beating
Okay.
Kansas. Yeah, that was a huge Terry for him.
This game was highly entertaining, though, all the way through. I didn't know if you could actually top the Duke North Carolina game, because that one was a damn good game all the way through, and this one was. Halftime hit. I was over at Tyler's before I was about to go home, and they were down, like I said, 16, and he's like, there's probably no way, right?
Right.
I'm like, oh, yeah, there's a way. I'm like, Kansas can get up and go at any point. In fact, they did this earlier in the tournament, if you guys remember. They were down by a chunk in the first half, and then they go on they score. They get up and go. And that's exactly what happened. A few fouls, a little mystery injury with Baycott. And, they took care of business. And it was a damn good game.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to get the second one out of the way, too. This is wonderful 10 high. Brought to you by Thug Life Cattle Company.
Thug Life Cattle Co.
Lucas
Shout out.
Reesing. Oh, it's so nasty. But so good if they want to pay us money.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So it was Texas A&M beat them after they were up 31 seconds left, 69-59.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
By 10 points?
Yep.
I thought it was something a little more hectic. I got you. Your takeaways from that game. Any? I know you said you didn't get to actually watch some of it. Did you watch any of it, Danny?
To be honest with you, I was in the same boat. I pretty much watched until I saw North Carolina. I was like, well, this is over.
Yeah.
North Carolina was whooping that ass, and then
It was
I
like,
stopped.
okay.
So,
Done
No.
deal.
yeah.
I was like, well, I've watched Kansas play, and all season they normally haven't done this. When they're down, they don't claw back. Or they
Right.
haven't. At least in the Big 12 play.
Didn't know if
did
they
it.
had enough or whatever. UNC was just on fire, maybe. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, they're probably, their magical run has continued all the way through. Good for them. Kansas, probably not going to claw back. Sure enough.
We was misinformed.
Well, I mean, we
Let
knew
me-
it was going to happen.
Let me touch
Yeah.
on a
You
little
were
something that I wasn't misinformed. You guys were misinformed. You guys shut the TV off. I did not. I watched and I knew there was a shot that they could.
we still bet
You
on them.
literally automatically assumed that they were done at halftime. So you shut it off. You already said that.
Yeah, but I also didn't take 2 whiskey shots, so.
You did. So they hooked you up.
They did hook me up.
So a little something to tickle Danny's underside. Way too early.
Interesting.
Next season rankings came out.
Okay.
And who is the favorite to win the title?
Just number one. It was top 25. Number one. Can you guess? I've said tickle your pickle.
Yeah.
Your pickle.
Who do you like as a team?
That's not normal for any one of us that we've never backed.
I don't know. There's a few.
Football,
I don't
too.
know
Yeah,
where-
put them out there.
Football and basketball, you did them both.
No, you talking about Arkansas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, they
They're
have Arkansas number one in the way too early top 25.
Favorite to win the title right now.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
So you're going to get yourself a Arkansas Razorbacks jersey?
Hey,
Yeah,
might
let's
have
put
to
a,
now.
let's put a bottle wager on it.
Yeah, bottle.
You got
10 high.
chug a bottle, 10 high.
Chug.
I don't want to die.
Continuing with some college basketball. Kentucky forward Oscar Tshiebwe on Tuesday was named winner of the 22 John R. Wooden Award, given annually to the nation's best player. Tshiebwe, I'm going to say it 4 different ways. How about that? Well, one will be right. Is the first Kentucky player to win the award since Anthony Davis in 2012. He's a 6'9" Congo native, transferred to Kentucky midway through the 2021 season after a season and a half at West Virginia. Tshiebwe finished with 28 double-doubles, including 16 straight to end the season.
Wow.
The junior big man had season averages of 17.4 points and 15.1 rebounds. The 15.1 rebounds obviously led the nation.
Yeah. That is impressive. That's
It is.
crazy.
There wasn't too much complaint for me.
Oh, yeah, it's Dennis Rodman rebound stats right there, man. That shit's crazy. No.
Yeah.
Deserved. Yeah.
Bob Bowlesby. Know who that is?
Don't.
I don't. No, nothing striking a bell.
Nothing striking a bell.
As well, it probably shouldn't, because I had no goddamn idea who this was either. Who has led the Big 12 since 2012 and most recently steered it through the tumultuous announcement of the departures of Texas and Oklahoma, will step down from his role as commissioner later this year, he said Tuesday. Bowlesby, who turned 70 in January, has 3 years remaining on his contract, said he made the decision within the past 2 weeks, but wanted to wait until after the Final Four to announce it. Dude's been through a lot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Big 12?
A lot of things in the Big 12, and then you're going to lose some big pieces here in a couple of years. But they're also going to gain.
They're going to gain some nice ones, but they're not Texas and Oklahoma.
Right, yeah, for sure.
But they gained some. It isn't like – I think he weathered that the best he could. With those two, you had no idea that was going to happen.
Yeah.
They literally uprooted and are going, and
Right.
I think he helped backfill it the best he possibly could.
Yeah.
So, 70 years old, that type of roller coaster, I'd want to probably pack her into. Be like, all right, I'm good. I got you guys back to the 10 or 12 teams, whatever the hell the number's at right now, but I got you back to that. I'm out. Deuces.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
A day. That's where we kind of touch on it. A day after openly criticizing LeBron James for some acts that he considers to be embarrassing and beneath him, considering James' stature in both the sport of basketball and society at large, Los Angeles Lakers legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar issued an apology to the current Lakers star. It wasn't my intention to criticize LeBron in any way. He has done so much for the black community as well as for the game of basketball. We may not always agree, but I want to wholeheartedly apologize to LeBron and make it clear to him that I have tremendous respect for him. And if he can accept that, I'll be a very happy man.
Yeah, whatever. He was ready. Like, he just had it in the holster. He was ready to talk shit about Brown that night. So
yeah, because he was handing over his award for diversity, basically,
Right.
I think is what it was, to Carmelo Anthony, and then he just went off.
Yeah, even Melo was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, what are you
Right.
doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like, what's he done to you type of thing.
Yeah. No, it was a bitch move.
It
For
was.
sure.
Kareem, come on. And as soon as he realized, even against LeBron, who LeBron is going through a lot of his own dumb shit here in the last few years and kind of doesn't say stuff, intelligent stuff all the time. He has some slip-ups and doesn't educate himself before he has the conversation.
Yeah.
Even still does not deserve how that was, because at least he's still out there trying. And Kareem doesn't like him. That's what it comes down to. They've had this little thing here and there throughout the history. So
He's just jealous, right? He's about to get taken over.
yeah, he is.
Yeah. As soon as
And
next year, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And barring any injury, and he's not only going to just be overtaken, it's going to probably get blown out of the ballpark.
Right.
Right. I
You know?
mean, you think about it. He was one of the Laker greats. Kobe was up there. But then now Bron comes, and he's going to be talked about. And he probably thinks that, it's not deserving. And, just because of where LeBron has played over his career. So,
But
at the end of the day,
we all agree is horseshit, right?
yeah.
Because a nice solid, from the age of 18 to 37 years old to almost 20 years in the league, that wasn't a sploof. That wasn't a joke. That's 19 years of consistency right there, putting up that many and staying relatively healthy.
Yeah. I think just he's going to be remembered as a Laker just until he goes and plays with his son, wherever that happens. So when people think about the Lakers and talk about, maybe his name gets passed up.
Hey, there's a good question
little
for
bit.
you. When you try not to only think about obviously the last few years.
Yeah.
But when you think of LeBron, what do you see him in? What jersey do you see him in?
Cleveland.
So I always remember Miami just for the simple fact that was kind of the first banding of stars together.
Yep.
But I can see definitely the Cleveland, because he took that horrible roster to the finals against San Antonio that one year, and that was amazing.
But it also,
But
so,
yeah,
so that's
I don't think of the Lakers right away.
But
for sure.
that touches on two for sure for you. One is that They went against your favorite team, so that's the reason why it also kind of flashed to you that way. Second one was also a little bit of an age gap, because I'm going to think of him as a Cavalier also, like where he started with his career up until he went there.
Yep.
Where you started watching probably a lot heavier was around maybe towards the tail end of his first Cavalier stint, and then the highly successful 4 years he was there with Miami, and then facing your team. Mine has to be the Cavaliers. The Lakers one, I thought it was like they did this collage of NBA players, like for the, they've been doing a lot of 75-year stuff, and they have the 75 players in their respective jerseys. And they have LeBron in a Lakers jersey. I actually found that offensive. Or bugged me. Maybe not offensive. That's a strong word, but
that's where he's at now.
Yeah, but that's still, to me, that's still stupid.
Right.
Like when you think of Russ, do you think of him anywhere else other than OKC?
Right.
That shit is, and he was one of the 75. I need to go on there and look. I didn't look at Russ's, but maybe his was in LA, but you still put him in their jersey that is them. Like they
probably the most they will be remembered by.
Right.
Yeah, that's hard. It's kind of subjective, right? Because we say Cleveland about LeBron, Rio says Miami, right? So everybody's going to think something different. So if they're playing, you got to have them in the team that they're on.
They did. I did see at the very top they put like I think there was like 4 or 5 jerseys, maybe more, just empty jerseys above the collage, which is kind of cool in a way. But it showed like where they were also playing before, and LeBron said Miami's and Cavaliers. Kobe had his. Because in the picture, I think he had number 24 on his jersey, but they put his 8 up there on this collage too. So I just thought it was weird. I was like, I don't picture him as a Laker. In fact, besides the championship that he gained there, he may want to forget most of the years except for that one year that he won a championship.
It's kind of funny. It's almost like Jordan's Wizard years, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, that's how I feel. Like I don't think he's a Laker at all. I get how like Rio might feel a little different there, but. I'm kind of like, this is the years I don't want to watch you play as much.
Yeah. Like, hey, hit these milestones, and I'd rather, once you hit the milestone, I'd actually rather see you walk away. Mm-hmm. Like.
Yeah. He's going to, ride out these last couple of years and go play with his boy.
I said we're chatting about the Lakers a little bit, right? What do? They have no assets. They're on the hook for that, whatever, is it 70-something odd million or whatever left on Russell's deal? You have Anthony Davis, who's legitimately injury-prone every single year.
Right.
He's played like half the games the last 2 seasons, like combined. And you have an aged superstar, and LeBron James. And you have, what do you do? I heard an interesting one, and I actually agree with this. I wanted to hear if you guys get in the ballpark of it. So what do you do to try to correct it?
Well, you don't cut Russ. You try to trade him.
If you
get something.
It would be peanuts.
Yes.
And you'd have to eat up some of that money, too.
Right. People know he wants to leave, so most likely, yes. Probably not great, but something, then nothing. You're going to have to eat the part of his money. I don't know what to do with Anthony Davis because I think he's a stud when he's out there. But can you keep on dealing with the injuries? And I don't think they can.
And so, as the Lakers, are you in the, we can still do this? We just need to figure out a way to retool?
Well,
or do you, I'm saying you're the.
I think they should do or what they're going to do.
No, I'm saying you own the Lakers right now. What are you doing? For your franchise. They're your franchise. Not for 1 year. They're your franchise. What are you doing?
I'm trading those two. Here's the thing. Somebody brought it up in a baseball podcast or something I was watching at one point, and he made a great point. He's like, you're in LA, you're going to sell seats. You'll never have an empty arena. No matter if the team's bad, good, or whatever, the stadium will be filled.
Yeah.
So here's my thinking. You're always going to have the stadium filled. Ship out. You got to look down the line at some point and try to get something from your stars. You're going to get more from Anthony Davis.
You mean like how they already did that like only 4 small years ago when they had all that young talent and they traded it all away?
Right.
Yep. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm not disagreeing.
I think you keep Bron, and all he's doing is chasing his number thing. Put him on a mediocre team. Literally, that's all he's going to do is stat stuff. Be like, hey, man, you can get your point, pass old boy. Yeah.
You have your all-time scoring
Yeah,
record.
you can get your all-time scoring name on the scoring list right here in 2 years. You can go play with your son, and we'll help you get wherever need be and make that happen for you. And try to allocate something back with Anthony Davis. That's where you're going to get most of that value back. Like you said, Russell, you're not going to get much, but I'd try to still trade him.
Yeah, they need to get rid of Russ and AD and get as many pieces, young pieces, as they can. 3-and-D players, maybe a big. The big doesn't even have to be a young player. That can be just some veteran that's floating around. LeBron played this whole season with 2 legit stars that played like shit when they were on the court. They didn't play good. So if I were him, I think I'd feel better about playing with younger people that are putting in more effort and not playing the greatest, but they're at least trying. And so hopefully he can kind of mentor and develop them a little bit. I don't think that's what's going to happen, though. They're going to keep him in AD and probably trade Russ and try to scrape something together. They're not going to be like in rebuild mode. I don't think the Lakers feel like they ever should be.
Yeah.
And the problem with your point about the money thing is that where they make the most of their money is in the playoffs, the home games in the playoffs. So if you're a young team,
because they're also paying the players less. They don't get
anything extra for the playoffs unless they win or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's not included in season tickets and stuff like that. So all of that is extra. That's all cush, right? So you want to make sure you're able to go far in the playoffs, which they've kind of hedged their bets that they would over these last couple of years, even though this year specifically it hasn't. But what they're going to do is going to keep Brown and AD and hodgepodge some shit together. I don't know. I don't know if it'll work, but it's not the move.
Who's taking Russ then? Because you guys are both kind of assuming that somebody wants him at that price tag.
Somebody will.
I don't think they will.
I don't know how he ended up at the Lakers.
Because LeBron wanted it. That's
it
why.
Didn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it's because LeBron wanted it.
You know?
Because so you guys don't have Rob Pelinka coming back, right? Their GM, who also needs to be at fault for at least half of it.
I don't know. He tried. Didn't he not try to get?
But
Granted, you're selling your soul for down the line.
Right, but you ultimately listened fully to a basketball player.
Sure.
Not even Kobe Altman, not even any of the other GMs he's went through has fully listened to LeBron. He's had to. I mean, he's been told, we can't do that, or they just won't do it, and out at all. And then yes, he gets pissed, blah blah blah. But ultimately, sometimes the best move is the move you didn't make at all. And they made a move for Russ. It was a bad move.
Yeah.
And they went by what he said, and Pelinka should have seen that and be like, we're seeing too much of, you're thinking too much of fantasy basketball or video game basketball versus what actually works. So I don't know if anyone wants him at that price tag without the Lakers eating a significant amount of it.
Right. Let's see.
Maybe getting
the Kings. Maybe the Kings bring in a veteran player. You'd have to take the ball away from De'Aaron Fox a little bit. But maybe as in developing his game, bringing in Russ, kind of helping show and mentor. He would have to accept that roll off the bench, right?
Yeah.
Ty just hit us up, said ready when you are.
Oh.
So
okay. We can roll into that. We'll come back to the news then. We do have a special guest.
We do.
Beautiful.
Fellow named Ty. He is a Upper Iowa football commit. I'm going to reply to him and then give him a phone call.
Where's he from right now?
From Nevada.
Nevada, Iowa?
Yes.
Yeah. You actually said that as Nevada, not Nevada. I'm surprised. A lot of people slip up on that.
Is it Nevada?
It is Nevada.
It's because I've heard it all across wrestling.
Okay.
It is Nevada. Talk about Nevada.
Yeah, but it's obviously spelled like Nevada. So a lot of people will be like Nevada. Nope.
Yeah, I just heard it. We see a lot of those Nevada kids around.
Yeah. Real quick before he hits you back, I think they need to trade AD. That's like the Bulls. The Bulls who believe they're kind of there, like on the cusp, something to push over the edge. They could toss like 2 first-round picks to the Lakers. You can get AD.
The team.
The Bulls. You toss those.
Yeah.
They think he still has something up in there, obviously.
Who does play in the center for the Bulls? or down in the paint.
Oh, now you're gonna put that on me. Nothing like AD. I know
Right.
that. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, that.
I know they have Laurie Markkanen. He kind of plays power forward, center-ish. They have someone else too. I can't remember off the top of my head.
That is actually a good
But
point.
You could draw 2 first-round picks easily for that. Start your rebuild. I don't think you literally are gonna have to buy out in some version, way, or form. Russell. I don't think anybody wants him at that price tag, and nobody's giving anything up for him.
Right.
I just don't see that happening. I'm not saying he isn't worth something, especially to a mid-tier team.
Maybe the Jazz. Gosh, help him get over that hump.
I don't think I think they've seen what he did.
Put fans in the seats. I
don't see it. I don't think they'd want to.
I don't see which team, but there's always a team that's going to be.
There'll be
one.
one. I'm saying.
Yeah. You know.
I'm saying a true contender. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a middle of the pack. Maybe someone's trying to get some tickets.
The price tag is going to be the big problem.
Yep. So. And there's always buyout options and shit like that. But
right.
I think there's no way Rob Pelinka should be able to keep his job. Frank Vogel is gone, and I think he's actually has a sigh of relief today. Yeah. I truly do believe that. Like,
for sure.
Nobody wanted any part of that shit and the way that went down and how it all, and then he was. You remember that? He was kind of like the scapegoat there he's on a game-by-game basis. We're going to evaluate him after every game.
Right.
Like, bitch, excuse me? What?
Right.
Like, what the hell did I do? Talk to your players about playing. This is the team you put in front of me. You didn't play half the cats you didn't bring in anyways. How many times did you see Trevor Ariza out there?
Right.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Some of these guys that haven't even touched the court. And because either health or whatever, but they just don't mesh him. LeBron probably said, no, leave him on the bench.
Yeah.
I don't know what you necessarily do, but I do know, I should say, I don't know what necessarily the right moves are. I do think if you want to rebuild a little bit and still keep LeBron, you get the 2 first-round picks for AD, because he's not on the court anyways. Try to get something. Maybe you can lure some free agents. You need to basically pay off Russell. You're going to get rid of Pelinka and bring in a real GM. I think that's the reason why old boy is hovering around the building. Danny's all-time greatest coach, who's also been seen in the building. And then Frank Vogel will be gone, and I don't know who the head coach will be at that point. If they go with what LeBron wants, he's always preached for some Mark Jackson action. So I don't know if they would let that one go or if they'd let that fly. I have no idea. But
okay.
But I think it's – I want to see him compete still, but the way it's constructed, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man.
Is he?
All right. I'm going to give this guy a phone call.
Okay.
Our special guest, Ty Dittmer, I believe is the last name.
Dittmer? Yeah. And you are recording right now, right?
We're back on, son.
Yep. Waiting to try to get our technological issues figured out right here.
You gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Trying to ring. And this is how there we go.
All right. Yep. Now picking up. Perfect.
Hello?
Hey, Ty, what's up, man? Sorry about that.
All good.
Wonderful technological issues up in this B, but I think we got her squared away. This is Danny G. I'm sitting with Rio and Jimmer tonight, and we appreciate you having you on the podcast, man. Here's what we basically do know about you, kid. Like, you committed to Upper Iowa, right?
Yeah.
For football. And you were, it seems like, just kind of a stud athlete over there in Nevada. Is that about right?
Yeah, thank you.
What all did you do over there? What all sports did you play?
Played basketball, football, baseball, and this is my first year since middle school playing soccer.
Oh, okay. Try to get that endurance up or what? The soccer?
Oh, I just liked it when I was little, and our guys last year, there's 3 classes in Iowa for soccer.
Yep.
And they were 2A and the favorites to win it last year, and they didn't get it done, and they returned most everybody and dropped to 1A. So I was like, well, I can go out and get a ring, take a garbage time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
No, absolutely. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, how did the recruiting process go, and all that jazz? Like, building up to, because you're going to Upper Iowa here, joining one of our guys that we've also had on, Daryl Overstreet is going there too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like, what position you play?
Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. Okay. And yeah, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself, like the recruiting process, how that all went down, and give us a little bit.
All right. So it's a lot different than most guys' stories, because I actually my first love was basketball, and I didn't even actually play varsity football until my senior year of high school. I was just always focused on basketball, and then the summer before my senior football season, I just got a lot bigger in the weight room. Also had a growth spurt, and I just realized how much fun like football was. I just loved the weight room aspect of that. I loved seeing what it would do on the field and hitting people and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I wasn't even really thinking about playing football in college, and then I just loved my last senior year just so much. I've never had more fun doing anything in my life.
Okay.
So I decided to play football, and then during the season, I had a few D1s that would talk to me a little bit, and then a couple other D2s, but nothing sufficient, and then or like an offer or any kind of visit or anything. But they'd talk to me and kind of sounded like it got ghosted pretty much. But then I went on a few visits to Morningside, Upper Iowa and Iowa Central, and Drake. And most schools wanted me to throw on a bunch of weight and come play D-end. But I decided that's not what I wanted to do. And I like the coaching staff at Upper Iowa.
Okay.
I like what's up there. And I like the campus, like the facilities. Excited to be a part of it.
Beautiful. How did you guys, how did the team do last year in football? I don't remember seeing anything.
We lost to the state champ. We had a good run. We were 8-1 on the season. The one game we lost, we had it won, made some crucial mistakes late, gave it away.
Damn. Okay. Well,
that team ended up seeing the state. It was Humboldt. That team ended up seeing Harlan, who was the state champs that we lost to the next round. So
okay, we live in Garner here, and actually we
play
played Humboldt.
Yeah,
got blown out by Humboldt.
Yeah, we got blown out, so we got pushed in. That being said, you said your first love is basketball, though.
Yeah, it was. I really do think I made the right decision playing football. I was just, that's what it was from when I was little, always what I thought I'd be doing. But
is there? So my question is there any chance or any way of playing, doing two sports up there?
My high school basketball coach actually was a grad assistant for what's his name? Why can't I think? McDermott when he was at UNI.
Okay.
And blanking on Upper Iowa's basketball coach's name right now, but he played for UNI when he was there. So my high school coach and Upper Iowa's coach are good friends.
Okay.
So I've got basically a chance to be a practice player and do that if I want to.
Okay.
That'd be all right.
Yeah. And potentially you can make open some eyes and maybe get on the squad, man. You never know.
Do both.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Right.
So let's take it way back. When did you start playing sports? At a young age, I'm sure, but when did you really start playing sports and being competitive and, other sports that you played when you were in youth?
Oh, since I can remember, we always had we had like travel baseball, basketball when we were really little. Played tackle football in like third grade, I think, when we started that. Me and my friends have always, we probably have the most competitive friend group like ever. Like it's to the point where it's like toxic sometimes.
Yeah. We know.
Well, I know about that.
We know all about that business.
Yeah, we're always just we've just gone at it from such a young age at everything. I mean, we're always in each other's backyards playing football, shooting hoops, whatever. Everything's a competition now.
Oh, there you go.
Sure,
Always
sure.
been.
That's always good to have friends like that, definitely.
Yeah.
So you are outside linebacker, moving up to Upper Iowa University. You said they were going to have you pack on weight if you wanted to be a D end. What do you?
No, he meant like the other universities he went and looked at. They wanted him.
Yeah,
to.
sorry, I skipped ahead of. Yeah, so the other universities wanted that. Do you have to add any weight or do anything different for the move up into college then?
I'm hoping to get to. So I played football this season at 215. Basketball dropped me down a lot. I'm on a bulk right now. I'm trying to get to like 225, around there.
Okay.
So I might have to throw on some more. Not quite sure yet, but that's my goal for this summer.
There you go. And what do you majoring in when you go?
I'm undecided right now. I'm thinking about a communications major. I've always wanted to be in either coaching or sports broadcasting. That's always what I wanted to do since I was little, sports broadcast, and then coaching.
Hey, there you go.
Very
That's
cool.
what we're trying to rock with right now.
Yeah, a little broadcasting.
That being said, I gotta loosen her up here a little bit. We're getting loosened. So let's talk. What are your favorites? What are your favorite teams? Favorite teams, favorite players. I'm talking about football and basketball. Name one of each.
For college, what do you?
Well, whichever. Like if it is like your go-to, I don't care if it's college or pros. Like that's like who you enjoy watching no matter what.
I can't watch the NBA, so I'm a Cyclone.
Cyclones
Yeah.
fan. Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense. You're right up the road.
What
Yeah,
about?
I'm
Yeah, I'd say what about football?
Or you call me a bandwagon. I went through the Matt Castle days.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. At least that's back a little bit.
Yeah.
But so it was a lot easier. So who was your original favorite team before you bandwagoned? I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. I got you.
Favorite player just got traded away. I've always been a Tyreek Hill guy.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
that's a
hurts.
hit.
That is a hit for sure, man. He's a stud. So thinking about Ty, what does he bring to Upper Iowa? What do you do best on the field? What do you bring to their defense? If you were a scout for yourself, what do you say that you do best on the field?
I would say my attitude, my relentlessness. My relentlessness. I play violent football, and I bring size, and I put in the work in the weight room in the off season, and yeah, I would say my attitude and mentality, and
Definitely all the things you want to hear from a linebacker, right?
Right.
Definitely. Getting after the ball, getting after the ball carrier, the quarterbacks for sure.
His job as a linebacker is to show up and wreck shit. Right? That's your job.
Right, baby.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we mentioned Daryl earlier, who's coming on with you to Upper Iowa. Did you get together? Did you guys all get to meet each other? It sounded like you might know who we were talking about, so I wasn't sure there.
I know a couple of them from my visit that we went on, but we're all in a big group chat. We all play Fortnite with each other occasionally, but a lot of us haven't met like in person yet. I don't know any of them personally.
I was always curious about that, like how the especially the first year recruits and all that stuff, how they all conversate with each other, and so yeah.
Yeah, we're in a group chat. We talk often in there.
Okay.
Very cool. Hey, how did that visit at Upper Iowa go? What did they take you to a game of some sort, get you all together, show the facilities? What was that like?
I came actually, I think in end of January, maybe somewhere around there. Yeah, they showed me all the facilities. Got my height and weight. They have me at 6'2". I'm at least 6'3".
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout it out, Upper Iowa coaches.
Like, hold on. You need to
Your
get your
boy's
shit-
6'3".
You need to get your shit straight up here. Your tape measures are wrong, son.
Yeah, they showed us all the facilities. Talked about the new turf they're getting. They're getting a new indoor sports complex too, an indoor football field.
Awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Got to meet all the coaches. Had a player panel where their players just talked to us all about everything going on there. Met with I forget what the name is in college. It was like a guidance counselor, basically for in college. I forget what those are called. Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know.
Gotcha. Right, they take care of your classes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, meetings with coaches, date with some of the players, and
Okay.
I think
Very cool. I'm sure that was a good time. Now going to the next level from high school to college. Not everybody gets to do that. And it takes not only just a special athlete, but a special person. You have to get the grades. You have to have a good backing behind you. Can you speak to anybody who's helped you along the way, who's elevate your game, pushed you a little bit, maybe helped you at home?
Made sure they got you to tournaments. Made sure they got you to games, all that stuff.
Practices, whatever. Anybody you want to shout out that really helped you and pushed you along?
Oh, my mom. She gets me everywhere. Gets everything I need. It's always washing my jersey when I don't know where it's at. It's hanging up drying.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. I've had a lot of really good coaches in my life. Probably my one of my good friends' dads. We call him Jump Shot Jimmy. He's quite a character.
Okay.
Yeah, we were little. He'd always take us anywhere we want to go. Or he was our coach. He was a coach for a while when we were little. There was times where he would be doing other things, but he was at most of our stuff, and brought us to a bunch of AAU tournaments and stuff for basketball. Helped coach baseball.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
Knows everything about me.
How did your basketball season go? You touched on you like basketball, you love basketball. I was looking at some of your stats. 10 points, I believe, is what you're averaging this season and stuff like that. You're making a lot of three-pointers. I believe they had 39 for you, 35, somewhere up like that. How did the basketball season go for you?
Not like we wanted, not the way we wanted to end it. We got a tougher draw, I'd say. We had to face the state champs in the second round, and
always tough.
Yeah, we lost that by 17, I believe, and then we were we played them the second closest out of anybody other than their title game. They won by 3.
Wow, who was that?
Central DeWitt.
Okay.
No, DCG beat Central DeWitt. Sorry.
Dallas Center Grimes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Wow.
Earlier in this.
So, okay. Well, before we're gonna roll into a segment called Rio's Randoms in a second, where we try to get everybody to loosen up and learn a little bit more about you. Our guy Rio here asks us all 3 totally random questions. Kind of like a would you rather type deal, but we all answer the question and kind of BS through it before we ultimately let you go. But before we do that, I have to ask you. So we're sitting here. We all work full-time jobs, so we're sitting here like an hour before the podcast doing research and that. And I had no idea that the young man that we were going to talk to tonight was the same guy that ended up in a altercation, we'll say, after a basketball game. And this isn't, I'm not trying to open any wounds if it's something you don't want to talk about at all.
Oh, no, it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, we literally had no idea. We were just doing our normal research, and it popped up. And So first off, before you answer anything about that, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a sucker-ass punch right there. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
You don't have to say that. I'm saying that.
Yeah, you're going to college. You got to be smart about everything you say, man. So we respect that. But I guess, is there anything that, like, the public that's seen the videos and stuff doesn't know? Like, were you doing a little smack talk at the end of the game that ticked the kid off, or like what happened there, man?
Man, I mean, a lot of people don't believe me. My teammates all do because they were there for it, but I didn't even guard him during the game.
What?
Yeah. I helped over and blocked him once. Yeah, my name's been pretty slandered through every Instagram or Twitter comment section you can find.
No, we're not. We're not. Yeah, and that's a damn shame. We're not here to do that in any way, shape, or form. We just wanted to bring it up like casually. That's all.
Right. Yeah. So I did see the video when it popped up. And I was like, man, that's crazy that a guy would do that, and especially to do it in the handshake line and the sucker punch. But then, I literally went to we were trying to look up stats, and I was like, hold on, what the heck? And so we kind of wanted to ask and just be like, is there anything to put out there? You said your name is being slandered. I mean, is there anything you need to say to people who are listening? That
you want to.
You want to say. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
Yep.
All I'm gonna say is I didn't guard the kid. I wasn't near him during the game. Didn't talk to him. We were up 30, so he was a starter. So we were both out about the last 5 minutes.
Probably a little butthurt.
Yeah.
I mean, he had plenty of time to.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So when you do watch this on YouTube, like after we put it up in the podcast, you're seeing my eyes just went big. Like 5 minutes on the bench, and you can't get your ass cooled down in 5 minutes of game time. 5 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a little bit longer than normal 5 minutes, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Jesus.
Well, I tell you what, man, you don't have to dig into it or anything like that. But we thought it was interesting. We had no idea that's who we were going to talk to tonight. But you know what? Some people don't believe you. The socials are blowing up. Well, we got your back.
Yeah.
You did.
Thank you.
You know what? On top of that, you're like a foot taller than that kid, right? So you wouldn't have been guarding him throughout the game.
Yeah.
So, no, I believe you, man. Sucker punch was BS. Sorry you had to go through that and get your name slandered. But on the bright side, we're heading up Upper Iowa here. So let's kick her off, Ty. We're going to go into some Rio's randoms.
Let's go. It's time for Rio's randoms tonight. Boom. Brought to you by Bo's Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Hit them up at 641-903-1720 for all your power washing and cleaning needs, lawn care needs, anything like that. He will get you hooked up for sure. Good guy.
Damn good guy.
So tonight, first up, would you rather crawl a half mile through a pit of snakes or spiders?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Ty. We're going to let you go first on this one.
Gotta be spiders.
Okay. I think I'm with you.
Yeah. I think it's got to be spiders. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, snakes are nasty, dude. Spiders are gross, too. Don't get me wrong, but snakes? Yeah.
No, dude. I think I'm going the snakes because you can kind of crawl over them. They're not
What?
the spiders though. They can hop on
While
you and
they're
start crawling. In
while they're touching their tongue to your fucking skin? Are you kidding me right
The
now?
spiders can crawl everywhere.
No, get out of here.
The spiders can crawl all over your back. The snakes, you can almost like kind of stay on top of them.
Rio hasn't changed your mind, has he yet, Ty?
No.
No.
He's still.
You know what? I can
That's a tough
squish those damn spiders. Boom, done.
Either way, I'm not having a good time doing it.
Yeah, it's not gonna fun either. Be
Either
fun
choice
either way.
is not a good time. Number 2, would you rather, if you were say a free agent, any sport, pick any sport, would you rather join an experienced veteran team or a young, energetic team? What are you thinking, Ty?
Where am I at in my career?
Young, energetic.
Well, so you're a free agent, so you're probably, I don't know.
That's a good question. You
5 years in or something?
Yeah, 5 years. Let's say just like 5 years in.
You're out of your first contract and you're into your second one. You can go anywhere.
5 years in. I'd say probably a young, energetic team. I feel like a year or two when you're like first in the league in any sport, getting under a veterans team to learn some stuff with some veteran guys on there, and then 5 years out, be with a bunch of young guys, turning something around.
Okay.
There we go.
Energy. I'm going energy.
Energy.
Yep.
For sure. Myself, I'm probably going experienced veteran team. I think they'd probably be the most – you'd probably have more fun on the young team. But as for maybe a playoff push, that experienced veteran team, you'd probably maybe get into the playoffs.
Maybe, but we just talk about the LA Lakers, one of the most veteran teams out there, son. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'd rather go to the more energetic young team because they're still going to have a bunch of competitive fire. Maybe they haven't been there yet, and they want to. They have that hunger to. Mm-hmm. I'd much rather go through that route and then give everything they got than veterans that, shit's kind of going tough. You know what? Been here before. There's always next season. We'll go ahead and pack her up.
Maybe,
yeah.
Maybe you might get or the Mavs team,
and they might not even like, and they might not like your ass either.
That
is
true.
Because you're you're in between. First off, I don't like you.
Hey.
We share a podcast.
Hey, hold on.
With all due respect, but that being said, you go to a team like that, right? And dude, they have their set ways of doing shit. And they're not open to any new ideas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not about that business either. I just want to have. We need to be able to bounce ideas off of each other and do this, that, and the other, and not just be like, hey, we're doing this way because we are the Riley vets, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you probably have more fun, definitely, on the young, energetic team.
And probably win the championship.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you better stop.
Did you see my AARP Mavs win it in 2011? And moving on to my last one tonight. Would you rather be really good at just one skill, pick any sport, or be an average overall player?
I'd say really good at one just to opens more doors if you're good at one if you're average at everything.
Yeah.
If you could be like a bench player or something, you're on the team, but you're not really. Because if you're good at one skill, you're probably kind of a superstar at some version, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you're a good three-point shooter, a good rebounder, if there's one thing that's all you can do, you're still going to get playing time. You're going to be in there for those moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not
Right.
a starter, but you're going to get plenty of playing time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going one skill.
If you're talking baseball, maybe you're
You're
home run hitter or strikeout.
You're saying one. No, you're saying one sport or one skill that you're really good at, or average at everything else.
Be average. So say you're a basketball player. Say basketball.
So this depends on if you're talking like.
This each skill of this. Okay.
Of the sport, yeah. So say you're a basketball player. You're not really good at three-point shooting. You're not really good at rebounding. You're not the best passer, but you're just average. You kind of ride the bench. Or you're the best. You're a really good three-point shooter, but that's the only
not
shot
very
you
good
get.
at anything else.
Anything else.
Yeah.
Or you're bad at everything else.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yep.
You got to balance that number
Yep.
up. So it's got to be a skilled assassin at something.
Yeah.
You could be like the ultimate rebounder, can't score a lick. Don't matter. It could be three-point shooting, like he said. You could be the assassin that way. You're not contributing anything else.
Who was that NBA player that had 0 points?
Dennis Rodman?
Was it him? And there was somebody else too.
Yeah, somebody recently. Who was it?
Tony Snell had a game.
Tony
Yes.
Snell.
Tony Snell. Okay.
Yes.
Good catch right there, Ty.
Yes, very good catch.
Yeah. So, which one are you going with for sure? Do you say you're going with
I think I'm still going to be just really good at one thing.
Yeah.
What I'd have to do.
Yeah, I'm going.
I'm really good at making babies.
He does. He's got 7 kids.
Dude, I did not have 7. You
got
mother.
more coming.
I got 4.
Right, and 1 in the oven, right?
No, better not be. Not mine.
Did you get?
With all
Did you
due
get clipped?
respect.
Did you get clipped?
Oh
No.
man. All right, fellas, and that is what I have. Oh man, you got the mailman's baby up there.
Goddamn Dish Network over. I don't even have Dish Network. I stream everything.
Oh man.
And that is what I have for Rio's randoms tonight, everybody.
Beautiful. Love it. Well, thanks for participating in that little segment, Ty. We, I guess before we let you go, I want to say thank you real quick for taking the time. Had some weird stuff going on Twitter, so I'm glad we were able to connect on.
Yeah, so we did
IG
have a quick
there.
question about that real quick. Was that on our side? Or is there something to do with like your Twitter isn't sending messages right, or is it on ours?
Here, I can read it to you. I went to DM it back, and it here. Oh, now it lets me.
Oh, okay.
Earlier there was a message, and it said something like, "I can no longer send messages to this account. Something. Learn more here." Didn't know what was going on.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Well, hey, we're glad that you hit us up on Instagram too. Then, like, seriously, didn't know didn't know there was that hiccup with the Twitter. So,
Just
Yeah.
getting shadow banned. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll be all right.
Like I said, I went as soon as I seen that come across Instagram and you hit us back up. I went and checked it, and I was like, yeah, well, I can see his and our whole conversation. So
Yeah,
But-
I could see the conversation. It didn't let me say anything.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, glad we got it figured out, and we got together. I know we've been chatting a little bit and trying to make the times work. Glad we finally got you on here. We're going to share this podcast out. We'll tag you up where we can on Twitter and Instagram for sure. It'll be out tonight, this evening, pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts, and YouTube as early as tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And, we'd love to have you, too, after the football season, during the football season, just to catch up and see how things are going for you. Apparently, we're turning into the Upper Iowa University freshman podcast.
and I'm okay with that.
So, yeah.
I'm right with it. There's a bunch
take
of great
that.
kids that we talked to so far, and I
100%.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you guys so much for having me. You guys
Hey.
are funny dude.
Hey, we appreciate it, and seriously, you make sure you hit us up during the season. We wouldn't mind. We would love to have you back on.
Definitely,
I will.
man.
Awesome. Well, we'll talk to you later, and have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
But
All right.
Boom.
Very nice.
yeah, not a
Good
bad
to
catch
finally
right there.
complete that one. We've been chatting back and forth a little bit. Couldn't quite make the dates work. Had to move around a little bit. Whatever hiccup was going on with Twitter today. So,
But well, the government
Elon-
had their ear in there.
I'm
Elon must have done something, right?
sure.
What's
Right.
that? What's
It-
going
you
on
know
with
what?
that? I seen something. Did he buy Twitter? Or what? What's
He
up?
owns 9% of it.
Yeah.
which is-
Most-
Nobody owns that much of Twitter.
right.
So he has the highest percentage owned,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. It did take a while to load for me at one point this morning.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if it was just
Well, Twitter's a dying thing, anyways. Like we use Twitter to get a hold of people. It's a lot easier to get a hold of individuals, but
yeah.
for the social media aspect,
We think that way, but it is not a dying thing.
Yeah, I
that,
don't
no,
think
I
It's a
read
big
an
deal.
article on it. It isn't from
It's a
my
big deal.
perspective. I literally read an article on it. Twitter is like the dying one. I am telling you, my friend.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe Elon will put
who wrote that
put his.
article?
I don't know. Probably
Facebook?
Biden. Probably
Is that
Biden.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Right, Mark
That son of a bitch.
Zuckerberg is the author of the
Zark Muckerberg.
Because I swear just a few years ago it was almost like everybody was getting off of Facebook and going the other way. But it could be definitely changing
Yeah, we'll bring it
Who
up
knows,
here
man.
after a while. But
for sure.
hey, great kid that we just chatted with. But we'll continue on with some news then.
Let's go.
Let's kick it, man.
All right, so we moved on from LeBron James. We said we're done with the Laker
I'm
conversation.
glad you say that, but you brought his name up the very first thing.
Why wouldn't we? One more time. We just had to refresh everyone where we're at.
Yep.
To make sure I had no more NBA before I go. It kind of gets a little when news comes in. All right, Deshaun Watson must say whether he had sex with 18 massage therapists who supported him last year following criminal complaints and lawsuits from other women, a judge in Texas ruled Tuesday. Watson has 30 days to comply. He previously would not address his past with the therapists. Watson also has to provide other information about his massage history since 2019, including any language in his contract with the Texans about massages.
This is big. I think this is really big. Because
This could get bad.
this
Yeah.
could definitely get bad.
It could show what your behavior
Yes.
towards something, even if those 18 women, because by the sounds of it, there were 18 women that were obviously some version of consensual, whatever, because they weren't part of this. It was something else, but it's showing, your
History,
habit.
habits. And what did I tell you about former college teammates saying Well, then what if that rolled over into the Houston Texans organization, and if it's somewhere in his contract, he's getting a big time suspension, I think. If there's a clause of some sort of,
I'm curious,
and it mentions,
yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
it's just weird that they would ask for that specifically.
There's a lot of really weird things about his whole deal. I don't know.
Correct, there is.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know. It could. I do
re-
agree with you that it could be huge, but I feel like we've jumped the gun on a lot of things with this stuff.
And then
So
and
I'm
then
like,
and then it has to get reeled back later.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could see
sure.
literally both sides of this. I could see it to
Yeah.
where, like what we were talking about, that those, I'm not saying innocent. The word innocent will not come from my mouth. But sometimes stuff can get misconstrued, like, or he turns over. We talked about that stuff, although we were part of that.
right.
And he thought everything would probably be a go or something like that, when it literally has happened with 18 other people that say that it has happened, but it was a more of a consensual type of thing. Is how I read that. I'm not talking about the ones going through with the lawsuit.
Right.
I'm talking about 18 different. And anything in that massage. I mean, dude, you got a fetish at some point if you got to put it in your goddamn contract anyways.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I feel like, when you're in that position, you've got to be careful of the things you say out loud to, like, when he did the conference with Cleveland, that first one, he basically told everybody he was the son of God and never has done anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he was, I don't remember exactly how he said it, but he's like, I've never done anything wrong. Never forced anything on a woman. Something. It was basically like over and above what he had to say. And then now, if any of this comes out, and even if there's a bunch of consensual, that's legit, and all of that, like,
Well,
let's
let's say they're 100%
You didn't have to say
consensual,
that.
every last one of them, right? And let's say it wasn't even that weird. Then we're no further ahead than what we were before, right?
right.
They're consensual women. So now you're going to arrest like every other,
But they're
the
not.
Joan Namath. No, the 18 were. So they'd be trying to find a hat. But I'm saying if they said, no, everything was legit and it was talked about before, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying if it was something like that, we basically still be in the same spot, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause I'm sure he might have had something like that with these other ones if that's exactly what happened with the 18.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We'd be at the same spot, I believe. But it could go the other way, 100% ugly. Like, yeah, no, we were consensual, but it was after he springboarded us.
Yeah.
Kind of flew, and I was like, all right, I'm a girl that rolls with the punches here, so let's go ahead and do her. Could be one of those.
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
But
That's
yeah.
not, I'm just saying.
No,
there's
no,
people that
I-
just roll with the flow of shit. They don't give a fuck. They live life. That's all I'm getting at. They go with it, like, and then other people will get offended. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, I didn't think of anything big. Actually, I'm more pissed that they jumped on a lawsuit thing and didn't even call me. Like, I got way dirtier than you did.
Yeah. What's
Right.
that? I tried way hard. What the hell?
Yeah, what? You got paid?
Oh, what's that mean? What? You guys are getting
You
paid?
guys are getting paid? Jeez. The Bills have reached an agreement with wide receiver Stefon Diggs on a 4-year, $104 million extension that includes $70 million guaranteed. With 2 years remaining on his existing deal, Diggs' contract now runs through 2027 at a total value of $124.1 million. Both the Bills and Diggs would like him to retire in Buffalo. So I'm going to give you one little tidbit, and that is that I don't know if you guys did see this. I didn't really talk about this in previous ones, is that he had some cryptic tweets, kind of like what he was doing in Minnesota not that long ago. I want to say about 3 weeks ago, somewhere in that ballpark. Don't have the cryptic tweets in front of me right now, but they were there. And I did read them. I just can't remember exactly what they were. I'm like, oh my God, kind of here we go. It was shortly after who got paid. 2 receivers. Hill, but
Devontae?
say that again.
Devontae? After that?
Devontae who? Parker?
Adams.
Devontae Adams. Duh. I'm like, hold on. You should have said Adams. I don't know him by Devontae. I know him as. I know. I mean, I should know
Daddy?
him as,
I don't know. What
no,
do you know
I was
him
gonna
as?
say Devontae Rodgers. I guess I don't know.
You
But
don't
that no, I'm with you. Yep, and it was that. And there was the other receiver down south that got one with Christian Kirk. because he was actually getting paid less than he was the 17th or 24th, somewhere in that ballpark ranked paid wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So his cryptic tweet started hitting. Then they did what Minnesota didn't do, and they just paid him though. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the cryptic tweet thing. So there's people there comparing it to what he did in Minnesota.
Right, and then I wonder if that's funny because then shortly after that, his brother come out. Well, it'd be awesome to play with my brother, and two Diggs playing together. So I wonder if he kind of helped him out too.
You pay Josh Allen. Moral of the story: you pay Josh Allen top tier quarterback money. It was the highest paid for a second.
Yeah, for a half hour or something.
Yeah. But you don't pay someone like that and get rid of his weapons. Green Bay, take notes. This is what you do.
They're gonna have a rude awakening, I think, this coming season.
Who's that?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Okay, I thought you were gonna say Buffalo. I'm like, why? Buffalo's gonna be just fine. But yeah, this is what you do. You need to. Yes, you pay your quarterbacks. That's what you do. But you have to still surround them to the best of your ability.
Right.
I know it's not easy to do.
Yeah. He's got to have somebody decent.
You find
he just
it?
can't
Yeah.
have nobody.
Go ahead.
So this was March 24th, so just about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yep. So I was in the ballpark.
It's always business, never personal.
And that's it. But it was after those contract extensions or new contracts.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's exactly how it starts, and that's what he did with Minnesota. But, difference is that Buffalo paid him, should make him happy, should be good. Looks like he'll retire there.
Yeah. Good.
Good move?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think you always kind of have to have one pretty good receiver for your quarterback, and that's why I think Green Bay is going to struggle. I think Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, and he's going to erase some of those mistakes, but not when it counts. You have to have a guy who can get a little bit of separation, right? He can
that maybe doesn't have the separation, but will still come down with it.
Yes.
You have to have that guy,
too.
right?
Yep.
Like where they put three guys on.
Rodgers doesn't throw risky balls, though.
Well, if he does, it's only to him, though.
Only
to Devontae.
Only to Devontae.
Yep. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
There's literally videos of him throwing into triple coverage instead of throwing underneath Allen Lazard.
Yeah, he does throw.
There's only one guy he does do it to. That's where I agree with you,
Right.
though. That's the only guy he throw that. I'm not saying he hasn't had those guys over his time, like Jordy Nelson and stuff like that. What I'm saying is, in recent memory, that's the only guy he would throw risky throws to.
Right.
And that's because he showed that he would come down. He would come down with it more times than not, or he would make sure nobody's coming down with it.
Right.
So you eliminate the shot of it turning into an interception for Aaron, which would look bad for Aaron, and
right, because that's been one of his things these last few years is not throwing that many interceptions.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he worries about that too much sometimes. Like when it comes to playoff time, especially, you're worrying way too much about that. Sometimes you just got to let it fly, baby.
You have to, yeah.
I'd rather go out swinging. Like at the end of the day, if that's the reason why you lost the game, I'd rather know that I lost the game and it wasn't my quarterback playing careful, conservative, dropping one here and there, or only doing a back shoulder, which is always a funny word whenever they use back shoulder. I know me and Danny had talked about this. It wasn't back shoulder before Aaron Rodgers. It was called a bad pass. It was inaccurate, and it still was. Even with him, but we just called it because he makes it look good. It's still an inaccurate pass more times than not, actually. Sometimes it is, like in the end zone, it obviously is, but you know what I'm saying? Up the sideline, I'm like, nah, you kind of missed, actually. But, hey, your receiver came down with that.
Right.
Right, but I'm with you. I think it's going to be a crash down to earth. And people call me a Green Bay hater because I'm a Viking fan, whatever you want.
You are, but
I am, but I'm also a realist in this one. Because I also thought that 100% that you guys should have ran away. Before you got rid of Devontae, and assuming you were bringing him back, you guys should have ran away with this division. Mm-hmm. And then you've let everybody go, and then you paid Aaron with no help, and he hasn't done anything with the help that he did have. Now he has none.
Right.
Yep.
But we expect, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Zimpro invented that word, just so you know.
What's that?
Insanity.
No. What's Zimpro?
What is that?
Mm-hmm.
A mineral feed plant that they put into animal feed. We're located right here in Garner, Iowa.
Sounds like management is just stand up.
I'm sure they do have actually, and this is no bullshit. Actually, they have a top line product worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything else.
How's the local management? Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's not. Let's keep going.
You don't need to talk about it. How many motherfucking makes sense if you don't think about it if we had?
Sometimes I haven't even brought up that many management ones, actually. But, yeah, there's enough to where you kind of get the
It's
hint.
at a different place called
Schmin Pro.
Yeah, Schmin Pro.
Schmin Pro. Okay.
Schmin Pro.
Crazy.
And Barner, Iowa. The man whose manslaughter conviction in the death of former Saints player Will Smith was overturned is scheduled to be tried again in August. On Monday, Orleans Parish Criminal District Judge Camille Burris set the August 22nd date for Cardell Hayes' retrial after a conference with Hayes' attorney John Fuller and Orleans Parish prosecutors Hayes' retrial was initially scheduled for October 18, 2021, but was postponed because of the pandemic and Hurricane Ida. It was rescheduled for Monday, then postponed again. Hayes was convicted in December 2016 of manslaughter and attempted manslaughter 8 months after Smith was killed and his wife wounded during an argument with Hayes. But the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Hayes' convictions in July after finding non-unanimous jury verdicts unconstitutional. A lot of information there. If you believe he did it, then rotten hell. I don't know.
Yeah. And
If he didn't, if he's innocent, then hey,
Get another stab at it to prove it one way or another. So
yeah. A lot of things in life that we keep forgetting or we don't realize that have been happening. We talk about like COVID, the impact it's had on like everyday normal life that we go through, you know, shit like that, businesses, and it's usually the businesses conversation that everybody has, right? And the sickness, and it's actually a lot of stuff like that it literally got pushed back. There was actually, I don't know if you guys knew this, but a bunch of kids were having issues too because they weren't having their their court cases couldn't happen when they've been taken away from their parents, and their parents are trying to come back, you know, like trying to straighten out their life, whatever, but all that stuff kept getting pushed back even further and shit like that because of the pandemic. Just so crazy how something like that actually affected a lot of life.
everything.
Quite literally everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tiger is officially back, gentlemen.
Let's go.
He came out with that today. It was like he's been saying that up until this moment. He has tee times like 10:20 or something like that, 10:41, somewhere in that ballpark in the morning. He's been kind of saying every day, like, hey, I think I can do this, but it has to be a game time decision. The game time decision has been made. Heavy betting his way. He started off 80-1. All the bets coming in have already flipped him to 50-1.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
That name right there. So I was gonna ask you. Quite literally nothing he does in this tournament, whether he makes the cut or anything, none of that is going to hurt him legacy-wise, right? Even if he missed the cut, right? Because it's kind of like miraculous that he's even out there being able to do it at the
Right, and looking good in the practice rounds. So, yeah. Doesn't hurt.
Not at all. No.
3-part question. Does he make the cut? You have to say yes.
It
Kind of.
just depends on how he does walking. That's what I'm worried about. If he does okay, yeah, he'll make the cut. But we'll see how that walking affects everything.
Right, and having to walk wherever the ball goes. I'm going to say yes. There's actually a lot of people that have not been playing well. So I'm going to say yes. I think
you believe he'll make it through health-wise through the first 2 days.
Yep, I think he'll make the cut. After that, I wouldn't put him, placing. I think he may slide.
Okay,
down.
so that answers the second question. Is do you see him in the leaderboard at least up until the final day?
I think early
Yes.
we could. Early, and
Yes.
then
I know. I would say he has to right now.
I think early we could see him up there, and then as the days progress, he'll start sliding.
And final question: what are his legit shot of winning? Do you think he has a legit shot? Being serious, like
Gosh, because it's Tiger.
Okay,
you want to
see?
say yes, but I'm going to say no.
No shot.
I'm going to say there's just too much healthy guys out there right now.
They're playing at a top end.
That are playing decent. There's actually a button, and that's why I'm saying he makes a cut, because there are guys that have been slipping, not playing well. But as for that final day and placing high, up there high and having a legit shot at number one, I don't think so.
Yep. Danny?
There's a shot. It's slim. It is.
Everything's got to go right,
Yeah.
health-wise, everything.
It's
right?
Tiger, so I mean, you
Yeah.
could say he's got a shot, but I just don't see him finishing.
I don't see 13 months off, and you go out here on one of the what has been told is one of the most rugged courses to walk. I'm not talking about necessarily to hopefully play, but to walk this course is one of the worst, they said. And with his injury, his type of injury is miraculous that he's even able to do it. But I don't think so either. I love the story, though. I love seeing Tigger back. I would love to see him at least in the running. Like, we're in the ballpark. That's what I'd like to see. Where you're competitive. That's all I want.
Right.
Yep.
That's great for golf. That's great for anyone that wants to watch any part of this, especially this legendary match. Keeping with Augusta, and not Augusta North either.
Oh, gosh. Here in the lovely town of Garner, Iowa.
Augusta National Golf Club chairman Fred Ridley said 3-time Masters champ Phil Mickelson pulled out of this year's tournament and was eligible to compete if he wanted to. In fact, even got offered to.
Oh.
It was a few weeks back, maybe a month ago, or maybe it was February. Sorry, maybe it was February. Ridley received a text from Phil Mickelson declining. Respectfully declining. And just wanted to let him know.
Wonder if he was just trying to keep his name out of the spotlight after the whole incident with the Saudi Arabia League comments.
I assume that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else it would be.
Yeah, I think that's 100% what it is.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and bank on that. That's exactly what it is. Why? Phil Mickelson, if bare minimum, I think this dude will golf till the day he dies, especially in the majors, because he wants to be considered the best or be definitely in the conversation. He played during the era of Tiger Woods. He always hated Tiger back in the day. I think they kind of developed a little bit of a friendship there later on in their careers, but
The respect is usually there at the end.
yeah, he wants his tournaments. He wants his major championships under his belt when it comes to the end of the day. So I knew there had to have been something. I think it's purely that. Either that or Saudi paid him.
He's left-handed, too.
He's also a lefty, which is what?
The devil. It's a sign of the devil.
Explains my sister.
Whoa! Oof. Doom. Let's see. We have... Damn, another one? I got the Tiger. All right. Minnesota Vikings defensive tackle Doug Sutherland, a member of the famed Purple People Eaters defensive line, died Tuesday at the age of 73. In 10 seasons with the Vikings, Sutherland made 90 starts and appeared in 138 games, the fourth most by a defensive tackle in franchise history, behind John Randall, Kevin Williams, and Alan Page.
Man. Prayers up.
Yeah.
For sure.
That was a big deal.
So, prayers up, absolutely, 100%. I'm a diehard Vikings fan, and I did not know this guy. Because when you think of the Purple People Eaters, you think of the three. You know, you think Carl Eller, you think Alan Page, and you think Jim Marshall.
Okay.
So I honestly didn't know who was it. And that sounds really bad. I'm sorry. I had to read up on him. I got myself educated.
Not a true fan over here.
Oh, zip
what
it.
The hell?
I think we went over this once. I think you couldn't name like 10 people on your Cowboys Super Bowl roster.
At least we have a Super Bowl roster.
Jesus.
You barely were born, bitch.
Still alive. What's up?
It's still
I
alive.
was like 2. Come on.
Like 2, slanging it. Or how old were you when you lost half a foot?
I was 6. I was in
So you still had about 4 more years before.
99.
So you've had your heel missing less distance or lengthwise than the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's more distance than the last time the Minnesota Vikings.
Motherfucker.
We got championships, baby.
We do. We have
Nobody
NFL
cares.
championships.
Nobody cares about those.
Greatest defenses of all time.
Nobody cares about those.
Some people do. Some people bank on it.
I see. Some people.
The New York Jets are donating $1 million to aid relief efforts in Ukraine. Suzanne Johnson, the wife of Jets owner Woody Johnson, said her mother Marie was born to Ukrainian immigrant parents, while her father, Stefan Urcha, was from Ternopil, a town outside of battle-rocked Kyiv, and immigrated by himself to the United States when he was 21.
Can we talk about, we had a segment a while ago, or not, it was on one of my segments where it was randoms, about bad child names. Woody Johnson.
Yeah, I wonder what's his middle name. Dick?
Richard.
Woody Hard
No,
Johnson.
I didn't think it'd be Richard. It would be like Dick. Maybe it would just be, they would just cut right to the chase with the middle name. Woody Penis Johnson.
Maybe
Penis.
straight up some Austin Powers
Dong.
stuff, you know. Man.
That is a really
Woody
bad.
Phallic. Anyways, yeah,
It's awesome.
good for them.
For the $1 million donation, not the...
Yes. If you're feeling generous toward 3 Gig Sports, we are gladly accepting generous and non-generous donations.
Borderline reluctantly, but not.
Yeah.
That being said. Pitchers and catchers will have the option of using newly tested signaling devices as they decide what pitches to throw in upcoming regular season.
Yeah.
MLB sent a memo Tuesday advising teams about their approved usage of devices referred to within the industry as PitchCom. Using a pad with buttons on the wrist to wrist of the gloved hand, and catcher can signal pitches, pitch type, and location directly to the pitcher through a listening device. Up to 3 teammates of the pitcher and catcher will also have access to the signals, aiding fielders in positioning. It is available in English and Espanol.
Just gonna get the guys who are cheating just more creative ways to
Yeah,
cheat.
they're just
Yeah,
gonna hack
so you
it.
can't Yeah, exactly. Nothing can be hacked nowadays.
Right.
What's that you always see? It's like the megaphone that you can hear. Like what they're slider inside.
Yep.
How come there's plenty of Japanese and Asian and all different types of players.
Talking about sports betting, you're gonna get teammates selling out the codes to.
Right. Trying to do anything. They're making all kinds of moves. MLB is. Speaking of MLB, all-star third baseman Jose Ramirez and the Cleveland Guardians have agreed on a 5-year, $124 million contract extension. The deal also includes a full no-trade clause. With this year and the pickup of a 2023 option, Ramirez is guaranteed $150 million. What is that off the top of my head? Is that 30 million?
Ish, yeah, something like that. In that area.
So they got a major hometown discount compared to what they're giving players right now of his stature.
Isn't he a little older though?
No.
Is he not?
No.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking he's a little bit older, so maybe that was the reason why.
We'll look it up real quick. Jose Ramirez. I didn't think so. Like they're getting him. I think I do believe it's in his prime. Jose Ramirez is 29.
Yeah, right there in his prime.
Right in the middle. Well, in baseball, it's right in the middle of his prime. And usually this is when you sign that 7, 8, 9, 10-year one where you try to, because they are making up money for the previous years, right?
Yep.
So, and he could have got way more money. Could have.
Probably somewhere else.
Yeah. So, don't say that players don't take care of the owners, right?
Sometimes.
Let's see. So you touched on, you're beating around the bush. I thought you were going with this. You were telling us about what was it, like a fake fake betting thing?
It was just a meme. It was
meme? What was it? Go ahead.
It had UNC when they were up by 15 or whatever it was on Kansas, and the guy had the bet up there, and I can't remember what the number was, but it was significant. And it said easiest money I ever won. And at the bottom, it had just the Atlanta Falcons 28-3 versus New England Patriots. I had to laugh.
So
that's actually how I found out that Kansas won. Because like I said, I turned the game off and I was like, whatever. Then I seen that meme and I was like, holy cow, wait, what? That means I don't have to take a whiskey shot?
So this goes right into this one. I don't know if you guys saw this story. Professional Fighters League Challenger Series event has been flagged for suspicious betting activity after league said fights were pre-taped. Fubo TV promoted the Friday broadcast of the PFL Challenger Series as live at 9 p.m. Eastern. And the PFL tweeted Friday evening that the fighters are in the building for tonight. And tonight was all in capitals, by the way. Odds on the Challenger Series moved significantly in favor of each of the winning fighters Friday afternoon ahead of the broadcast. On Saturday, U.S. Integrity, a Las Vegas-based company that monitors betting markets, sent an alert to Sportsbook saying it confirmed with the PFL that the fights were pre-taped on March 25th.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Big time movement. That's
not good.
Some shady shit. Call Calvin Ridley. Where is he at?
Yeah, where he is. You got anything, Danny?
Danny wants some money off that shit, so yeah, he's like, nope.
He's like, hold on, what was that site again?
No, it's fucked up. It's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, obviously they're kind of part of it themselves, though, right? Because I mean,
Yeah.
you go out and tweet it, you go do this, that, and the other, and you say it.
Oh, for sure. There's some fake names. They're investing back, right? Putting tons of money and
Yeah.
oh yeah.
They got to pay some of these fighters that they started paying
Right, pay
more
some
money.
fighters, bring in more revenue.
Yep.
For sure.
Hey, what's it wasn't him. Who's the one the hell that said that? Maybe it's even the Kardashians. One of the smartest things they ever said. There's no such thing as bad publicity. It's all good.
Said Jerry Jones. It seems like a Jerry Jones thing.
Jerry Jones. Well, that is Jerry, but I think it was the Kardashians that actually said it, like, because everyone's like, "Well, you weren't embarrassed by the sex tape, blah blah blah." When else? Yeah, it sucked, but you know what?
Yeah, dude, I'm thinking about putting one out myself just for 3 Gig Sports.
Just for 3 Gig Sports.
Make it into like
Controversy?
a TikTok, man. It'd fit on 3 minutes. What's up?
I don't know if it'd fit on the screen.
Well, I mean, you get about 2.5 minutes of me making a sandwich and eating, and another 30 seconds of
Feet
action.
kicked up. Attorneys general of 6 states have written to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, expressing concern over the league's treatment of women employees and admonishing him for a lack of improvement to the league's workplace culture. Without improvement, the attorneys general warned of potential legal action. The letter outlines concerns of gender discrimination ranging from the NFL's treatment of women who have experienced domestic violence to the hiring and promotion of women in NFL offices. The letter was signed by Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, as well as Attorney Generals of Illinois, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Oregon, and Washington. Allegations from more than 30 former NFL employees said they experienced problems, including unwanted touching from male bosses, attending parties where prostitutes were hired, being passed over for promotions based on their gender, and being pushed out for complaining about discrimination. First off,
Hookers?
What's wrong with bringing a lady of the night? There's nothing, unless you can show that they actually had sex with them. Older guys maybe needed some company.
Right.
I've heard of a classy lady. Not trying to giggle too bad. I can't giggle fully anyway because I can't stop coughing. Not surprised, right? A bunch of rich old bastards out there.
No, they think they can do what they want.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And this is unfortunately what it takes.
Yeah.
Finally enough of people coming out and saying stuff, and a group of them. It can't be one because you can always hush one. You can always hush even like 10.
Correct.
It takes years and years and years of this. And a lot of this is coming to light, thankfully, but unthankfully, thanks to the Washington Commanders owner.
Definitely.
I may need at least 2 weeks off the day they ever let all those emails out.
I'm telling you.
Because
get a projector and just read the emails all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, all week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just have a toddy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like, oh my God, did you guys read that one? Not surprised by any of that?
Not surprised. I think probably could have seen this one coming eventually. Just the way the African American, they were kind of going and started their own deal, right? And discrimination or whatever. And myself, I was just like, well, it's only a amount of time till the ladies do the same thing of some sort. And
not saying that any of them are wrong either.
Not saying that any of them. Now, I will say this. There's probably going to be a few that are not legit.
That pile on.
Just because get piled on because of the situation.
Yep.
But ultimately, yes, I believe there is definitely a lot that are true.
Okay.
It's the way it always goes, though. There's always shit
Yep.
that piles on,
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
For sure.
If you're a rich old man?
I mean, I just hope it eventually becomes, if you're right for the job, you get hired. Doesn't matter race, sex, whatever.
Hold on. Neither one of you are going to touch on the fact that they're discriminating against hookers. Like, how do you know that that's what they were doing?
All right, she's just trying to make some money.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're trying to shut her down. What the hell did she do to you, Karen?
Right. She out there.
Now, if they were being abusive towards that woman or something, okay, fine. She willingly came to, to be on the arm of a.
I don't want to touch on my prostitute standpoint.
They don't like to be called prostitute.
Oh, yeah.
Or what is it? Prost?
Right.
You can't call them prostitutes.
Toots. Got to call them toots. If you are interested in any of that, I guess I will kind of. Listen to Dan Bilzerian. I don't know if you have, but he talked on Joe Rogan, and he actually gives a very good, thinking of prostitution, I guess, and prostitutes. And he does cover how it's ultimately there is bad sides of it. You get the guys taking advantage of the younger women and stuff like that. But if everything's kosher, he does kind of go into it makes you think. And looking up, I believe it was with Joe Rogan, Dan Bilzerian, his name. And go listen to it for yourself, and you can think, kind of make your decision on what you think about it. But he does. He goes into a very expanded telling of kind of how the whole thing started and the process and thinking about it. Yep. And it kind of makes you go, okay.
People got to pay bills sometimes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Basically, the gist is
could they be called prostitutes, though, at that, how much they probably took to get them there?
Right. So he says it's the oldest form of business.
It is.
And he talks about that. And he says if it's all legit, it's almost, if they're willing and you're willing, it's a service provided, right?
Right.
And both sides, so that would make it legit. And then, of course, he expands on the bad sides of it there is. But then, ultimately, at the end of the day, the business side of it, if somebody wants to do that, male or female, if somebody wants to do that, why should you stop them, I guess? Kind of. And he goes on, like I said, you can listen to it or whatever. But
what's the difference between that and, like...
They are probably making coin.
What's the difference between that and you getting married and your wife just siphons all your money and minimal sexual acts? Legally. Yeah, because they have a piece of paper?
Yes.
That's horseshit.
Yeah.
With all due respect. Only 22 of 130 NCAA FBS level schools say they have plans to provide allowed academic bonus payments to athletes this year. The NCAA changed its rules in August 2020 to allow schools to pay each of their athletes up to $5,980 per year as a reward for academic performance. More than one-third of the FBS respondents say they have not yet decided whether they will provide these additional benefits.
Yeah, colleges overall are in a fucked up spot because college, people enrolling and going to college right now is at substantially lower numbers than just the last few years. I'm talking about a huge percentage. So it's like you're not getting all that revenue because colleges make a shitload of money, no matter not profit, state run, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's bullshit. So they got to start figuring out, like, how can we get people back in the door? Do we pay them more and then we lose out to get more people in the door, especially in the athletic end, right? I don't know, man. I could see people are less and less inclined these days to go to college because you realize that the degrees aren't worth shit. We've been sold a pile of bullshit goods, right? And 99.9% of people don't end up as professional athletes or anything in that realm, right? So it's like, why waste all that money? Why go into debt when I could do whatever else? I could go into sales. I could, learn how to weld, fucking code, do whatever. And I don't have to go to a 4-year school. I think a lot of people are in that boat and they're starting to think that way. So we could end up seeing a lot of colleges just shut down, or the entire atmosphere, everything about college has to change, and make it more affordable and things like that for people, because it's.
But that's basically isn't that kind of on their own? Like think about that for a second. Like how much, and this was my uncle, lives down in Arizona. Good uncle, the party uncle. I don't know if I ever told you a story about him in kindergarten. No, okay, tell you sometime. So regardless. He went to University of Iowa for so many years, and he ended up racking up $50,000 in debt or more. I can't remember what it was, but it was at least that, $50,000. That was back then. That was over 20 years, well over 20 years ago. That was 30 years ago, right? 50 grand. I don't know. I don't even know if he ended up getting a degree or didn't. But my point is, 50 grand over so many years. You're telling me after what, 4? Because how much can a teacher's salary really be, right? As a professor's salary. How many students are going to each one of the schools? How much back then? Maybe books were a thing. Now we're on tablets. You're telling, and did the price go down? Because you don't need to pay for the book anymore. You just have everything electronically done. Did the price ever go down, or did it go up? Everything has gotten cheaper and cheaper, except for the price to go has went up and up. Right?
Yeah.
Energy back then, energy efficient stuff has come across. You cannot tell me that that these universities have racked up that big of goddamn bills that they need to charge that much. And it comes to what I'm building off of is what you're saying is the nonprofits and shit like that. I'm like, there's no such thing.
Right.
No such thing. It's like the salary cap. No such thing. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Female orgasm.
And I detoured originally what you were talking about, but ultimately I'm thinking about, like, they've got to figure out ways to keep athletes, especially because that's who makes them even more money at the bigger school levels. They got to figure out a way to keep them, giving them some type of award or financial compensation or whatever the case is. It's got to be a big part of that, I think.
This is no different than you, if you ever were lucky enough to have that, but paying your kids for good grades. They bring their report card home at the end of the semester, and you pay them for like so many A's. Like, hey, great job. You lose all that money if you have a single F or D or whatever and you know what I'm saying. But it's no different than doing that. You're just showing your good grades, and hey, you're compensated for that because you probably, if you had that many good grades, either you're a rocket scientist, you're super ridiculously smart, or you didn't have time to go to work. Right, because you were studying all the time. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Here's a little bit of compensation for that.
Right.
And that is what I got, gentlemen. I'll give you my strange law. I need to get some tunes for this. He has his. I need to figure out mine.
Before you do strange law, let me run a couple things by you real quick. Twins, you're going to try to get Chris Paddock, sounds like, from the Padres.
Oh.
Sounds like it's going to happen. So that could be a win.
Pitcher?
Yeah. Yep.
That's huge.
Tall motherfucker too. So we'll take that.
What's tall?
I like tall pitchers.
So do I. What's tall though?
Yeah. Tall to me, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6'4".
Catcher.
6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like him not to have to. You don't have to kneel down any bit extra or anything like that. Is that what you're talking about? Pitching and catching.
To me. I'm not talking Randy Johnson or something. I'm not.
I thought you were talking about pitching and catching, the good old fashioned.
Yeah. No, he's not talking no Woody Johnson stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Legit height. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Pitchers of beer, folks.
So that could be a good deal. But also, I saw this come across today. They've got something they're coining the road to UFC. potentially coming out, and this is an 8-man tournament for 4 different divisions. Kind of like Ultimate Fighter sounds like, to get guys into the UFC.
Okay.
But they're looking at doing an 8-man tournament across 125, 35, 45, and 55, starting in Singapore during UFC 275 fight week. So that could be pretty huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be entertaining.
Add viewership
Maybe.
and stuff like that.
Maybe. That is what the Ultimate Fighter is.
It is, but it's more like right there, and they're trying to attach it to where you don't have to watch it on a separate night. And
Yeah, and it's like
because you said during fight
Ultimate
week, so
Fighter
like the build
is
up.
a tournament, but it's not billed that way, right? Like that's not how they
Yeah.
promote it and things
They-
like that. Maybe this could help. Like
This makes me think of like actually that movie, what Warrior?
Oh yeah,
Like, tournament. Like you beat where this how it's doing. It's not by popularity or anything like that necessarily. It's literally because I'm sure that isn't what Ultimate Fighter is, but that's what I'm getting at is that they kind of promote it kind of like that instead of like, hey, we're set up a octagon, kick each other's ass, last man standing. You have a UFC spot.
Yeah. I don't know. That is Ultimate Fighter. I mean, sure, you divide into teams, but you still match. And even if all these guys lose, and you still keep on fighting each other until you're down to the last guy. So I don't know. Maybe being it's not so spread out, you know, such a long deal to watch. So maybe, yeah.
maybe. Hey, I don't know. I just like that they're trying something different. I think they've got to do something a little different to get more people watching and paying attention.
Besides pay
so,
the fighters.
right.
Okay.
Besides that,
Oh, yeah.
Besides that, that'd be
it's not
crazy.
going to get more people watching. Jimmy.
That'd be crazy. Well, it could if they would actually bring in like because there's some stars that they're potentially missing on because they want to get paid right now over in whether it's
definitely.
PFL or what's that other one? One
FC.
One FC.
FC. Bellator technically pays more, right? They just don't pay more.
Bellator, that's what they say. That's what most fighters say.
It's that they pay more unless you're the headliner, right?
Yeah,
where you can
that's the
make the
biggest
pay-per-view
difference.
cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good stuff, especially the Twins one. I did not see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that came across right when we started, basically. The only
Need a
thing,
picture. Need a picture. Been talking that years.
Yeah, you saw this probably too. You seem to see everything that I see on social media. Thing came across the other day that I did not know was in 2010, the Chargers. Did you know this?
The number one offense and defense and miss the playoffs.
Yeah, number one offense.
We do see a
and
lot
defense.
of.
I'm like, I fucking know you saw the same
Is that
shit.
when you guys are like in bed,
cuddling?
cuddled up?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Chest
He's
hair to
looking at
chest
my
hair?
phone.
No,
Yeah.
he's a little spoon.
Little spoon, big spoon. I don't think so.
I look over
Hey,
his shoulder.
hey, Danny. In this one, I'm backing you.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna venture a guess that.
Right. I look over his
In no
shoulder.
point.
I
Hold
rest
on.
my
He
head.
has clearly already said, "Why do I always get stuck doing the fucked up shit?" There's no way you're ever the big spoon.
This is why, because he lets me be the
Is
big
that
spoon.
why? Aw. All right. So
2022, grow up.
Yeah,
Grow up.
I'm working on it. Not yet. Hawaii has an interesting set, so I may stick with this one for a few days.
Oh,
also.
okay.
Okay.
But we're going to go with this one right out of the gate. All residents may be fined as a result of not owning a boat. I don't know if that's for their
For
protection.
like a condo or
No, just owning a boat in general.
all residents of what?
of the island. Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hawaii.
The whole state.
Yeah. All
Shit.
residents may be fined as a result of not owning a boat. I don't know if that's like if they feel like the volcano is going to go off and you need to be able to leave
Get
safely.
your ass a boat.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
I'd be kind of pissed because there's plenty of spots, like especially in the Big Island, where you're not that close to the ocean, so you like it's not gonna be handy. Like, what are you gonna do? Trailer that shit? Fucking storage? I don't know, but
Pay, and
Yeah.
more pay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because boats are extremely cheap, right?
Especially in Hawaii, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is true.
And that's what I got. Danny, I think, has our, from a wonderful, wonderful man, has our,
Makes sense if you don't think about it.
Boom.
So, Mr. Kevin Beauchart actually messaged us here earlier, and this is what we're talking about. We love to hear stories, and our guy is hooking us up. So, here's where we go. Starting my first varsity football game for Clear Lake Lions. So, Clear Lake is about, 15, 20 minutes away from where we're at.
Yep.
It was against Webster City, Iowa. and it was a kickoff. I was the only one back for the kick. They kicked it to me high in the air. I caught it on the 1-yard line and saw 3 Webster City guys coming right at me, nowhere to go. Thinking I was in the end zone, I stepped back a little and downed it. Naturally, if you know anything about football, that's not a good move. So the ref looked at him and said, "Son, that's a safety." I said, "No way." Well, needless to say, it was. When I went to the sideline, the coach stopped, looked over at me, and laughed. And he said, "Nerves." After that moment, I rushed for 100 yards every game. I fell about 100 yards short of 1,000 for the season, and I'm about top 10 in rushing for Clear Lake overall. Even today, I assume, huh? That's pretty cool.
That is crazy.
Could have had 3 scholarships, or a scholarship to 3 different schools. So, Mr. Beauchart was a pretty
That's
big
our man, Beauchart, baby.
Yeah.
Mr. Beauchart.
I didn't know he was a football stud, too. I know we talked baseball in that. He was a
Baseball.
pretty
He
good
loves
baseball.
himself some baseball. He
Yeah.
likes golf. But baseball, he's like, he did not want to give that up. Like even slow pitch softball, he didn't want to give that up, and just had shoulder surgery.
Yeah, so I guess words of wisdom to you guys out there, especially the young folks. If you have fucked up shit happen like that, where you're like, oh my God, I screwed up, I don't know what to do. I've seen way too many kids these days that'll just give up and be like, well, I fucked up, now I can't do anything right, whatever.
Yeah.
That man did the opposite, and he went on the rest of the season and just crushed
A
it,
tear.
right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, after that messed up moment. So don't let that define you. Use it as motivation, if anything. So
Yes. Agreed. But also watch where your footing is. Dumbass.
yeah, fucking idiot.
With all due respect, Beauchart, we love you. We're just kidding.
With all due
We're just
respect.
kidding, baby.
We do love you,
Say
baby.
it before, right?
Yeah, right. You got to say it before.
I don't know.
You just got to say it. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
just got to say it at this point.
That's
Yeah.
right.
With all due respect. We've all done something goofy, though.
Oh, 100%.
Well, the one play that you still see to this day before they cross the line.
Yeah, letting the ball go.
Let the ball go.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
Being dumb,
Yeah.
man.
I think, who the hell is it? I think back to was it a Cowboys quarterback who was running outside the end zone to not get, maybe it was Lions.
Lions.
The colors.
Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, he's running, just sprinting outside,
Jared Allen.
out of bounds behind the end zone.
Jared Allen
trying to
chasing
avoid-
him.
Yeah.
He still gets
Fucking
made fun of on
hilarious.
ESPN to this day for that. To bring it up every so often. Good sport about it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, ran clearly out of bounds out of the back of the end zone. Wasn't trying to. Lost where he was.
A good couple
too afraid.
feet out of bounds, but he was still
Yeah.
running like he was playing.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
Oof.
But yeah, we'll start to wrap her up. Definitely want to thank Ty for hopping on the podcast.
Yep.
And even being willing to talk about a little weird situation. With that said, if you guys are interested in the video, look him up. And he definitely gets cheap shotted.
Yeah.
In the, at the end of the game when you're shaking hands and everything
Yeah,
like
not
that.
cool.
Not
You
cool.
know, not ready for it.
Get over that shit. Like, especially finding out that like there was a little more detail we gathered from that, which we appreciate that from Ty, about them being up for so long, and they both were on the bench for over 5 minutes. So
Yeah. And if you don't know anything about it, why say shit about it,
yeah,
that as well.
Yeah, so for
You
those
know,
of you on the
yeah,
social, shut
yeah,
the fuck up.
Right,
How about that?
running mouths and stuff like that. You have no idea what's going on.
yeah,
No reason to.
That's right. We
but-
got your back, Ty.
we got you.
For sure.
We
Thanks
got
for
you,
coming
baby.
on. Sorry about we had a little technical difficulty going on, but worked its way out and had a
We
pretty
got
good interview.
We
Yeah.
got it.
Real good kid. Definitely real good kid. Good to talk. So hopefully we get to do that again. If you guys are randomly coming across our video or the podcast anywhere, be sure to check it out. The podcast is available where, Jimmer?
Anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere else in between, gentlemen.
That's right. And if you've got a story to tell us, be like Bo. It all goes down.
In the DMs, slide into our DMs. You know we want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it as well.
And Rio wants to get slid into. Is that where we draw the line?
With all due respect.
Yeah, with
With all due respect, shit, I forgot that part. My bad. With all due respect, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I think you just threw him for a loop.
I did. You had more. You had the haircut thing too, right?
Yeah.
I'm done. We're getting off here.
Yeah. Gentleman's Way. Make sure you pop in there. You can get a free haircut potentially. That's where he was going. Jimmer's just fucking everything up tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, my bad.
But for real, hey, give us a rating, like, subscribe, share, the whole 9. We appreciate all the support, but we're going to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it.